Hello, in this video we will tell you how to assemble the main project in this month's box, which is this. Has a geared latching system and wooden hinges. Let's start by how to decorate it and how to build it. Find this large kit in your box and open it up, being careful not to lose any of the internal pieces. Inside, you will find several different things. You will have a large pile of wood, which contains a side with one hemisphere on it, a side with the other on it. You'll have a side that says Explore. You will have a side that looks like this that has 4 holes cut in the middle of it. Have a side like this that has our URL on it. You will have a side that looks like this, which is the top lid. Should also have a bag that contains 3 handled parts and a little piece that looks like a comb. Have a weird piece like this that looks kind of like a rooster. Have a piece like this, which is the compass rose piece. You have a bag that contains 4 wooden circles, a wooden circle that contains a cross, and a wooden circle that has a weird little jut out, and 2 pieces that are shaped like a U. You also have a bag loaded, filled with screws. Let's start by carefully opening up the pieces that have the handles in it. There are 3 handled pieces and this comb. Now, let's carefully open up this bag that contains all of these little wooden circles. You want to be extremely careful not to lose these. Once again, in here, you should have 2 big ones, 2 little ones, 2 U's, and a big circle with a cross, and a little circle with a bump on the top of it and a cross. So as you're going about preparing and decorating the wood, the first thing you're going to want to do is use your sandpaper and sand down everything so it's nice and smooth. Once everything, actually you don't need to sand the 2 little circles. Those are the only 2 you really don't want to sand. Everything else, and these 2 U's. Everything else you can sand. Now that you're finished sanding, use your Sharpie pens to decorate all of the pieces. Decorate one side of this. Decorate one side of 2 of that one on the floor. 2 of the handles. You do not need to decorate the comb that is on the inside of the box. I guess you can if you want, but it's not necessary. Decorate one side of this piece. Decorate one side of this piece. Decorate the side with the writing on it. This is the very bottom piece. Decorate one side of this piece. Decorate the side with the writing on it. Decorate the side with the writing on it. And decorate the side with the writing on it. If you guys decide you want to decorate the insides of the box, you can do that also. Just to give you an idea, generally how this goes together, if you lay it down with the writing facing down, the little sides will latch on like this. And you want to make sure that both of the circled sides are facing one direction. The big side is going to face on one side here, like that, and like that. And then this one will face in the front. So once you can build that little arrangement, now you can see exactly what sides to decorate. Enjoy decorating, and this is how you assemble the box. Okay, now that you've decorated all the parts for your box, let's go ahead and build it. The first step is going to be to open up your screw bag. You want to be very, very careful with these. You don't want to lose any of the screw hardware. Put that away. So let's dump these out gently here. You can count them out. We should have 13 screws and 13 nuts. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is to take this big piece that has our website on the bottom of it and take the side piece that says Explore. we are going to be attaching the pieces like so. So to do that, taking the Explorer piece, you can see there are little horizontal slots. That's where the nuts go. You're going to take your fingers and hold on to the nut like that. And then on the side where the website is, like so, like this, you are going to align that, and it's really hard to hold sometimes. This very first screw is always tricky. Grab your screwdriver and then screw that screw in like that. There's your first screw. Now we're going to rotate it, and we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Insert the nut into the slot, squeeze everything together. See if you can see that. And put that screw in like so. It didn't line up very well that time. Let's adjust that. There we go. Make sure everything is well aligned. Tighten that up. So now you should have that. Now we are going to install one of the side pieces. Take it till the decorated side is out, and you want to make sure that this circle piece is facing towards the back, so towards the Explorer side that you just installed. Align the piece like that. Put a nut in, just like we did before, and pinch it so it holds into place. Take a screw into the little hole and screw that in like so. Flip the piece around like this. Take another nut, put it into the slot, put a screw into the hole like that, and screw that in like that. Flip it around. This one's a little bit trickier to get in. The best way to do it is if you put your finger behind it, covering up the slot. You can then put the nut in, and it won't fall out. Take one of the screws into the hole, align the nut, give it a little bit of a screw. Sometimes it wants to fight with you. You just got to work with it. Like so. Get that aligned. Tighten it a little bit. And screw that in so it's nice and tight. So now everything should be well seated, and you should have two sides on your box. Now we are going to install this piece. This piece goes on the long end like that. So we are going to first of all trap a nut in the slot like that. Install this piece like that. Put the screw through and screw it in. Rotate it around. Put the nut in to the slot, hold it into place. Put the screw down through the hole and screw that in like that. And now for the last one, just like before, it's a little bit tricky. You want to cover the slot up with your finger. Rotate the nut so it fits down in the hole. Take one of the screws and screw that in like that. Okay, perfect. So now you should have three sides on the box. Now it's time to build the lid. The first step in building the lid is to build a little connector piece. You want to grab these two little wooden C, U, whatever letter you want to call it, pieces. Open up your glue. Put a little bit of glue down into the cup, like so. And then insert the other piece. Squeeze it together. You can take a towel if you would like and wipe off any extra glue that you may need. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is insert that into this round piece. It is a pressure fit, so if you align it to the cross, give it a little bit of a push, you can flip it over to finish that push. Like so. It will pressure fit in once you get it aligned, and it will all scooch in just like that. The next thing we're going to do is add a little bit of glue. There, 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 and there. And install this piece, which is the round piece with the little tab on it. And once again, it goes over the plus and pushes down. Okay. If you take your lid, if this is the decorated side that you want facing up, you want to leave it facing up. And insert that new piece you just build into this hole. If you take a look at it, you can see there is a little track that it is now running over. You want to rotate it so it is all the way to this side and set it down. We are now going to take this little latch piece that has the geared edge on it, and we are going to attach it so that the latch isn't in the slot where the lock will go. Let's glue that down by putting a little bit of glue there, 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 just like that. And let's glue that down and push that. It's also pressure fit. You want to make sure everything fits together. And at this point, you should be able to turn the wheel on the back, and that will rotate back and forth. Now we're going to install the compass rose. It goes into this hole right here. If you align that into the gear teeth, take one of the screws, push that through the hole. You can use your screwdriver if you need to. Get that lined up and screw that right in. Just like that. Once that's all the way in, now you can rotate the compass and the lock opens and closes. Once you're happy with that operation, let's put a nut on the back to secure everything. Put a little bit of glue into the screw threads and put the nut over and screw that on. You want to make sure that it's just about even to the end of the screw. That way things aren't overly tight. Okay, at this point, take your box back again. You want to insert this so that you gotta unlock the box first, so that this latch goes through this hole and this piece of wood goes through this round thing right here. So it will line up just like that. Now take one of the small circles. You have two big circles and two small circles. So we're going to take one of the small circles, put a little bit of glue on the back side of it, just like that, and then insert it over that piece of wood, and you may have to align things a little bit and press down on it, get that all the way in there nice and tight. Like that. Make sure that's all the way in. Get that glue down. Once that's in nice and strong, you'll see it is seated. Like that. Now we're going to take one of the larger circles and glue it on. Let's put some glue on the surface of the tab and on the circle that you just installed, just a little bit. And then install this one like so. Press fit that on there. Nice and even. Give it a good squeeze, and let's make sure we haven't locked things so that they don't test the opening and closing. That looks like that's working quite nicely. Okay then, now we're going to install the other side. Very similar, we're going to insert this piece like this and line everything up. You You may need to open up the lid to do it. Line everything up so it's all into little holes, like so. Now, take one of the nuts, insert it into this slot right here, and hold it with your fingers. And push the screw in to grab it, like so. Give it a little bit of a screw there. Perfect. Now we'll just tighten that screw up. You want to make sure it is nice and centered when you do this. Nice and tight. Okay, perfect. Make sure that tab's staying in that little hole there so it doesn't get loose on you. We're going to do the same thing on the back side here. So very carefully, if you put your finger over that hole, you can balance the nut in that hole like that, very gently. Put the screw in and screw that down with the screwdriver. Like so. Okay, let's do the bottom one here. Put the nut in. Put the screw in. Like this. And then screw that in all the way. And then the one last one. Take the nut in. Put the screw in. And screw that in all the way. Perfect. So now close the lid and set it on its side here. So we're going to install that little piece right here. Put some glue on the back side of it. Like that, and set it down over that peg. Line it up so it goes in, just like this. Push it in all the way. Give it a good press so everything sits. And now the lid should still work. Now we're going to put the cap on, just like we did before. Put a little bit of glue on the top surface of that peg and a little bit of glue around on the circle. Take the top cap, put it over the top. Press fit that on there so it's nice and tight. Like that. And now you've got your box. The latch should work. And the hinges should work perfectly. Okay, let's open the lid and set it down like this. The last thing we are going to do is to build the handle. So at the beginning, we told you guys to decorate one side of two different ones of these. So you want to make sure those are aligned to the outside. So we'll put this one upside down, put that like that. We are going to take these handles and stick them through the hole like this. Line them up and push them all the way down. Make sure they're nice and aligned. And then very carefully open up like that so you can see me. So open up one little side like that while keeping it firm. Open up one side, put a little bit of glue in and then close it. Open up the next side, put a little bit of glue in and then close it. That's the first step. So we're going to put a little bit of glue down inside of there, just like that. And then close that up. And then take your towel and wipe like that. Open up the next one. Put a little bit of glue down inside of it. Close it up. Give it a squeeze and wipe. So now you've got your little handle. If you look on the inside, it's made little slots right there. we are going to take this comb and we are going to insert it into those slots. But first you want to put some glue onto the back side of that comb. So when you stick it into the slots, it will stick itself to the top of the box. So I'm going to put some glue into here, like this. And we are going to put that comb into those slots, like so. You may have to line it up. Bear with me. Push that in there, so when it's all in, it should look like that. You can see there how that looks. So at this point, you have your handle and everything is together. Good job. Thanks. Bye.